Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Explanation. So in this video tutorial, I'll be discussing about OSI reference model. Okay, so this is one of the most important topic for computer network. Okay, so one of the question, it comes sure shot, it comes from this topic. So either it would be short note or it would be long question. Okay, so one of the question you can expect from OSI reference model. Also this model, this reference model is very important. Okay, so we have to understand this reference model in order to understand computer network. So let's see, we'll explain this one by one. So first of all, before studying this OSI reference model, so let's see why we need this model. Okay, why we need reference model. Okay, so why we need this is to describe the clear, communication between the devices. Okay, so there are steps by step like how devices communicate with each other in the sender side, also in the receiver side. Okay, so how they are functioning, how they are interoperating with each other. So that is defined by OSI reference model. Okay, so you can see the names, it is a reference model. Okay, so it just says that two devices, they communicate like this with each other. Okay, so this is just a reference, this is just a conceptual model, you can see. So the purpose of OSI reference model is to guide technology vendors and developers so the digital communication products and software program they create can interoperate and to promote a clear framework that describes the function of networking or telecommunication system that is in use. Okay, so you can see there are two words, that is interoperate. Okay, it means that how the devices are interoperating with each other, how they are communicating with each other. So it provides a clear framework like how the devices communicate either how the information is sent from the sender side and how it is received by the receiver side. To standardize the data communication network protocol to allow communication between all networking devices across the entire planet. Okay, so what does this word means? Entire planet means that in the whole world, wherever you go, okay, if you have two devices, two networking devices, both will communicate in following this OSI reference model. Okay, so there is a particular you can say there is a particular rule or protocol. Okay, so all the devices, either it is sender device or it is receiver device, they should follow the same protocol. So who developed this model? Okay, so this is one of the important questions. So this model was developed by ISO. So you remembered in last video I covered this ISO, that is International Organization for Standardization. So they developed this model. So this is called OSI, stands for Open System Interconnection. Okay, so it is also called OSI model. So going to architecture of OSI model, you can say it is a combination, it is the layering of 7 layers. Okay, it is in the form of layers, so it consists of 7 layers. So let me explain this OSI model in practical way, and after that we'll be coming back to theory. So let us explain in theoretical way. Okay, so let's discuss OSI reference model in detail. So I'll be showing you this practical example. So let us consider we have a sender and we have another device called receiver. Okay, so sender, let's consider it is A and receiver is B. Okay, so suppose sender is sending a message. Okay, suppose sender is sending a message. This is the message. So what happens is whenever a sender sends any message or any data, so it transfers through all the layers. Okay, so in sender side the data transfers from 7th layer to 1st layer, that is topmost layer to bottommost layer. So we have 7th layer. Okay, we have 7 layers. So let me write. So sub on the first layer is physical layer, second layer is data link layer, third layer is network layer, fourth layer is transport layer, fifth layer is session layer. Okay, sixth layer is presentation layer, and seventh layer is application layer. Similarly, even in the receiver side, we have same layer. So 7th is application, then presentation, then session, transport, network, data link and physical layer. Okay, so remember, whenever the sender sends the data, it flows like this from upper to lower layer, then it passes like this, and again it passes from, in receiver side, it passes from lower layer to upper layer. In this way it is received by the receiver, it is sent by the sender. Okay, so whenever, if a sender has a message to send, okay, so first of all, that message, it goes to the application layer. Okay, so application layer is the 7th layer or topmost layer of OSI reference model, and this is the layer which provides a user interface, okay, a UI to the user interface. It means that using this layer you can send mail, you can transfer file, you can log in, you can password check. Okay, also you can do that, you can use the applications like browsing. Fine, so whatever you are using for sending a data, for browsing, so that all comes under application layer. So from application layer, through web browser or through file transfer mechanism, your data is transferred to presentation layer. Okay, so what all happens in presentation layer is, in presentation layer our data or our information, whatever information we are sending, that is converted to presentable form. Okay, so the properties of your data, like let's say it's not property, like your data is changed to a presentable form. Okay, for example, encryption of data, okay, translation of data, all that takes place in this presentation form. Compression of data. Okay, so one function I'll be writing here, so let me write only one function. So each layer we will be discussing in detail. So let me write now, for now let me write only one function. So I'll write encryption. Encryption of data will take place here, or we can say the data is converted to a presentable form. So after encrypting or after converting our data to a presentable form, the data is sent to session layer. Okay, so what happens in session layer? So session layer involves in dialog control, or it synchronizes both sender and receiver. Okay, so it helps in dialog control, that whether our receiver is ready to receive the data or not. Okay, so I'll write one function of this layer also. So it is dialog control between sender and receiver. So after session layer, our information it is passed to, okay, after session layer information is passed to transport layer. Okay, so in transport layer, whatever information we are sending, so remember, in all these layer, okay, in all these layer our data is called information. So when this information is passed from session to transport layer, this data, it is break down into smaller chunks called, okay, smaller chunks called segment. So remember, in transport layer our data is called segment, and what happens in transport layer? So it helps in multiplexing, okay, multiplexing of data. It also like decides whether the data will pass through parallel path or single path. Okay, and one of the main function of transport layer is adding the addressing. Okay, so from now on we will add address to each of the segments. So in transport layer we add an address to the segment which is called port address. Okay, port address. So port address, what it does is, it helps in choosing a particular process. For example, if you are a system, okay, and inside the system you have a number of processes, like you have Gmail, you have Messenger. So which process you are communicating, whether you are sending a mail, whether you are sending a message, or which type of process you are using, so that is decided by this port address. Okay, so again this I will be discussing in transport layer in detail. So remember one function, that is port address, and other functions can be multiplexing, segmentation, okay, whether the data has to be passed through parallel or single path. Next, from transport layer our data is passed to network layer. So in network layer, again these segments, they are further broken into smaller chunks called packet. Okay, so data in the network layer, it is called packet, and the main function of this network layer is routing. Okay, what is routing? Routing means showing the route. Like if two devices are communicating, so routing shows from which path the data should be sent. Okay, so that we'll choose the minimum path, or we can choose the minimum cost path. Okay, so in this layer we will be studying about routing algorithm. So again, that I'll be covering in later videos. And one of the other important function is adding address. Okay, so in network layer we have IP address. Okay, so what is IP address? It is called Internet Protocol address. So IP address is a unique address that is given to each system. Okay, so remember, each system has unique address that is called IP address. So again, I'll be discussing about this topic in detail. So remember, functions of network layer are routing, adding IP address, packetization. Fine. So next, the data will flow from network layer to data link layer. So again, in data link layer, the data is further, the packet is further broken into smaller chunks called frame. And going to the functionality, the main function of this data link layer is, okay, error detection and correction. Okay, so we detect the error in data link layer. Okay, other functions can be access control, flow control, media access control, framing. Okay, so all these access control videos I have already uploaded, you can check there. Okay, so this is one of the important topics. So let me write only one functionality. So here, okay, and what is the addressing in data link layer? Okay, so the address in data link layer is called MAC address or hardware address. Okay, MAC means media access control. So MAC address or hardware address. So this is the address that is given by the manufacturer at the time of manufacturing the device. So that is called hardware address. And this IP address, it is given by ISPs. Okay, so other functionality are framing, error control, flow control, etc. So next, this frame is further passed to physical layer. So in this layer, further this frame is broken into smaller chunks called bits. Okay, so you know what is bits? It's zeros and one. Fine, so it is broken into zeros and one. And other functionality, okay, that can be transmission. Okay, how we are transmitting the data through transmission medium or through wireless medium. Okay, similarly topologies, similarly electrical specification, like we have to convert this bit into electrical signal and then only it will be passing. Okay, so all this is decided in physical layers. So let me write only one function, that is transmission. Okay, transmission media. Fine. So now whatever bits we have converted, so that is passed to our receiver. Okay, that is passed to our receiver through a medium. Okay, so this is a medium, so it can be wired medium or wireless medium. Okay, so this is decided by physical layer. So our bits, it will pass in the form of electrical signal to this physical layer again. Okay, so let's do the opposite of all the functions that we did in sender side. So in physical layer, what happens? This electrical signal, it will be converted in the form of zeros and one. So in data link layer, what happens? This zeros and one, it will combine to become frame. Again, error detection will take place here. So next, this frame will combine, it will form packet in network layer. Okay, packets. So here, whatever IP address we have sent here, so it will be extracted in this layer and it will send, this packet will be sent to the particular device. So in transport layer, these packets are combined and they become segment. Okay, so if you are doing multiplexing here, we will do demultiplexing here. Fine. Next is session layer. So in session layer, the segments, they are then combined to become information. So all these three layers, our data will be in the form of information only. So in session layer, what will happen? Dialer control. So again, receiver will receive the data, synchronization. Physical layer, so if you did encryption here, you have to do decryption here. Okay, so remember, we are breaking the data here and we are joining the data in this side to form a information. Whatever we send the mail, so it will receive the same mail. So we are forming, we are combining to form that. So in application layer, whatever using web browser or user file transfer, anything that you are using, okay, so through that you will receive your data. Okay, so in this way the communication takes place in OSI, and this is for all the devices in world. Whatever devices you are using for communicating, all of them, they follow the same protocol. Fine. So let's go to the theory portion. I hope you understand this. So let's go to the theory portion. Okay, so architecture of OSI model. So the term open in open system interconnection denotes to communicate with any of the two systems. Okay, and two system which is communicating, they comes in this OSI model. They follow this OSI reference model. So there are 7 layers in OSI reference model. It is also called OSI layered architecture, okay, or OSI protocol architecture. The process of breaking up the functions or tasks of network into layers reduces the complexity. Okay, so why we are needing this layering? To reduce the complexity. Remember, a single layer performing all the functions, so it would have created the complexity. Next is, each layer provides a service to the layer above it in the protocol specification. Okay, so you saw in the diagram, each layer was providing a function or a service to the upper layer or lower layer. So each layer communicates with the same layer software or hardware on the other computer. Okay, so you remember, from receiver side and sender side, each layer communicates with the other side of the system. Okay, same layers. For example, physical layer communicating with physical layer. So the lower 4 layers are connected with the flow of data and from in to in through the network. The upper 3 layers of the OSI model are oriented more towards service of the application. Okay, so you can see these are the 7 layers: layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, layer 6, layer 7. So remember, it should always move like this, from layer 1 to layer 2 to layer 4, layer 5, layer 7. Okay, so you should not mix match this. So let's move to the functionality. Okay, so first function is the physical layer. Okay, so physical layer is, what is physical layer? It is the lowest layer of the OSI model. Okay, it is the lowest layer of OSI model. It activates and maintains and deactivates the physical connection. Okay, so physical layer, it is the lowest layer of OSI model. It activates, maintains and deactivates the physical connection. It is responsible for transmission and reception of unstructured raw data over the network. Okay, voltages and data rates needed for the transmission are defined on the physical layer. So these are some of the functionality. Other, it converts the digital analog bits into electrical signal or optical signal. Okay, so if you are sending through a transmission media like coaxial cable or twisted pair, so it is converted to electrical signal, and if you are transferring to the optical fiber, it is converted to optical signal. So data encoding is also done in this layer. Next is data link layer. So the main functionality of this layer is to make sure that data transfer is error free. Okay, so as I told you, it helps in error detection from one node to another over the physical layer. Transmitting and receiving the data frame sequentially is managed by this layer. Okay, so whether our data is received sequential or not, we check for that. This layer sends and expects acknowledgement for frame received and sent respectively. Okay, so what is acknowledgement? If the receiver is receiving the data, it will send a message, acknowledgement message, to sender in order to say that I have received the data. So that is called acknowledgement. Resending of non-acknowledgement received frame is also handled by this layer. Okay, so this functionality I have discussed in previous videos in media access control. Okay, so there you can check that. This layer establishes a logic layer between two nodes and also manages the frame traffic control over the network. It signals the transmitting node to stop whenever the frame buffer are full. Okay, so this is the functionality of flow control. Okay, it means that the sender should only send that much data that receiver can receive. Okay, so if it is sending more data that receiver than that the receiver can receive, what happens? The data is stored in the buffer, and if the buffer becomes full, it starts rejecting the data. So it needs to inform sender to stop sending the data. Fine. So next is network layer. So it routes the signal through different channels from one to another. So as I told you, routing. Okay, so it finds the path how our data should transfer. It acts as a network controller. It manages the subnet traffic. Okay, so how the data is sending, how we are sending the data, which devices are receiving the data, all that are controlled by this network layer. It decides by which route data should take. It divides the outgoing message into packets. Okay, so as we discussed, packetization, and assembles the incoming packet into messages for higher level. Next is transport layer. Okay, so it decides if data transmission should be on parallel path or single path. As I told you, it decides whether the path should be parallel. Parallel means a number of data we are sending at the same time, and single path means a single, it travels only through a single path. Functions such as multiplexing, segmenting and splitting of the data are done by this layer. It receives message from session layer above it, converts the message into smaller units and passes it on the network layer. Okay, transport layer can be very complex depending upon the network requirement. Okay, so transport layer breaks the message data into small units so that they can be handled more efficiently by the network layer. Next is session layer. Okay, so as I told, session layer, it manages and synchronizes the conversation between two different applications. Transfer of data from source to destination. Session layer, the streams of data are marked and desynchronized properly so that ends of messages are not cut prematurely and data loss is avoided. Okay, so it controls the session for the data transfer. Next is presentation layer. Okay, so presentation layer take care that data is sent in such a way that the receiver will understand the information and will able to use the data. Okay, so it is the data is transferred, or it is turned to a presentable form, we can say. While receiving the data, the presentation layer transfers the data to be ready for the application layer. Okay, so language syntax can be different form for two communication systems, so it manages the syntax or the structure or the language of the data. Under this condition, the presentation layer plays the role of translator. So as I told you, other functions are data compression, data encryption, data conversion, data translator. So all these are functions of presentation layer. Next is last layer, 7th layer, is application layer. So it is the topmost layer. Okay, it transfers the file. Okay, transferring of the file, disturbing the result to the user, distributing. So it is not disturbing, it is distributing. Okay, let me correct this. So it is distributing the results to user is also done in this layer. Okay, so mail service, directory service, network resources, etc. are services provided by application layer. This layer mainly holds application program to act upon the received and to be sent data. So you can see when you are browsing the browser, so it is also application layer. When you are sending the file, when you are checking the password, you are logging, so all that comes under application layer. Okay, so these are the functions of OSI layer. So this is one of the important topic for you. So in next video I will be covering TCP IP layer. So it is also one of the most important topic, and difference between OSI layer and TCP IP layer. Till then, stay safe and stay connected with us. So like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you very much.